Goodreads Incorporated gives us a wonderful quote by the most inspirational Eleanor Roosevelt. She stated, "A woman is a tea bag. You never know how strong it is until you put it into water." Today there are many different views on women and their differences between men and the roles that they play in life. The strength that they have, the courage, and the pressures that they can undertake. Let's take the military, for instance. It was said that the military was known as a man's role, that a woman could not take on the pressures and the commitment that the commanding officers gave them. But you look at today and you see hundreds of women in the military are shown just as much respect and honor as the men that have served. Women who have enlisted into the military have proven not only honor to themselves, but to others around them. First off, during the Revolutionary War from 1775 to 1783, women were extremely helpful during the forces. They were nurses, cooks, worked in factories, and even helping do laundry. Those jobs were important. Most jobs were done inside the military camps, but some were also done at home. If women were wanting to help be on the battlefield, they usually had to disguise themselves as men. They cut their hair short, dressed as men, and even enlisted under male names, and just prayed that they would make it through. Some did, but others were sent back home. In the year 1782, a lady named Deborah Sampson enlisted herself under the General Washington's army. After getting a battle wound, she was discharged honorably and also discovered as a female. But later she was rewarded a pension for her services. During the Mexican War, Elizabeth C. Newman enlisted herself under a male name at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. After serving for 10 years, her female gender was discovered. But being nice enough, Congress paid Newman for the land and money she owed for services in the military. During the Civil War, Sarah Rosetta Lakeman enlisted herself under the name Private Leon Lakeman. She died during combat in New Orleans at Marine General Hospital. Her gender was never discovered, but it is said that her tombstone still says Leon Wakeman. Over 33,000 nurses joined the military to help men out, and over 400 of them died in the line of duty. That was during World War I, when women were allowed to join forces to help out as much as they could. Second, women did not only help at the military camps, they also were able to help out at home. Many worked in factories, mechanical jobs, as pilots, ambulance drivers, and a lot of other non-combat roles. Now, these type of jobs were very, very hard on a woman's body, but they still pushed themselves through it and made sure that they got their jobs done for not only themselves, but the other men who were out there fighting for our country. They were not doing it just to help them out. They wanted to prove to themselves that they were capable of putting themselves through hard acts, and that they could do anything that they put their mind to. Some wanted to prove that they could do what other men could. But many were later caught and held up against their own will, known as POWs, which stands for Prisoners of War. Now, a lot of those women were the women who chose to be enlisted into the military or who weren't doing their proper duties that they were told to. Now, lastly, there are many commanding officers and generals that believe that women have a great help in addition to the U.S. military. Women are still showing strength and commitment to their loved ones and to their country, which is incredible. To see a woman standing up for not only herself, but for others around her, is pretty inspirational. Some women have even ranked up to generals, sergeants, commanding officers, roles that usually were said only a man could receive, that it was too hard for a woman to get those roles, to get those ranks. But they have proven them wrong. Now, Sergeant Leah Ann Heister, I believe, was the first woman to receive the Silver Star for her services in combat during the military. Now, Marine Corps Commanding General Robert Neller told this to the Washington Post one morning. Now that the restrictions that exempted women from combat jobs, don't exist, they're a citizen to the United States. It doesn't mean that you go and serve, but you go and register. I like this quote because it states that even today when women are enlisted into the military, they don't necessarily have to go and serve, but they now have the free choice to do so. They have the right to stand up. They have a right to go and make this country better for the women and children and men that live here. They don't have to hide it anymore. They don't have to dress themselves up or give themselves a false name. Now, all in all, women today are loving the opportunity to be able to go out and do something for their country. They are proud to serve and make sure that we have a safe place to live in, to not have to be afraid of night raids, of bombings, and more. Over 16,000 women have been currently in service in the United States military forces. Some have been deployed to Iraq, Afghanistan, Turkey, Bosnia, Japan, and other important places that need help. Some of the first women to enlist into the military had to be secretive, and they were still honored, and proved honor to themselves, and earned respect. Others who did not also played an important role by helping the men out by being nurses, driving ambulances, being a pilot. All of those were important roles in the military. But women who put themselves out on the battlefield have been an incredible addition to the military. They proved that a woman's role is not just to stay at home and be a house mom. They are worth more, that they can do more, and that is incredible. To see that fire and passion in a woman, that she's willing to put herself through anything, to prove to herself that she can overcome anything, is great. As long as they put their minds to it, that they can do anything, anything is possible. I'm going to leave you with this, and I want you to think to yourself, what does it mean? What can I take from this? During the Civil War, Sarah Rosetta Newman stated, "I am as independent as a hog on ice." Think about it.